Hey guys, this is Logan with Adventure Rigs Outdoors. Today I kind of have a little special video. One of my surf rod reels that I take to the coast is started acting up and I couldn't turn it when I was actually at the coast. Of course, I found this out right after I casted it out 200 yards. So I took it apart, figured out the problem, and now I'm going to start fixing it. Just basically, oh, sorry, Sal's in here with me. This old reel, I found this actually when I used to do a whole lot of scrapping. Let me turn on the light, it might help. So, and I actually found this underneath someone's burn pile out here in the country. So, obviously, never in the best condition, but I mean, for 10 years, no problems whatsoever. No matter how many times I took it to the coast, it got underwater. Of course, all that does eventually cause problems. So I took the side off of here. The gears and everything worked. They looked fine. I actually did that on the beach. And couldn't find out what it was, so it had to be below my spool. There's my spool that sits on there like this. It had to be below that. Brought it back, took it apart, and yeah, the bearing that sits right here rusted to pieces almost. Not really, but it was really rusted. So I put everything in my parts washer. Which this is actually just an old pan my dad had for boiling crawdads and all that. And we were gonna scrap it because it's all aluminum. I'm like, heck, that's exactly what I need right now. So did that. It freed up everything so it could move, so I could take it apart some more, and I got that bearing out of there. So after inspecting the bearing, it was really rusty. And I've just been using Simple Green degreaser. Not the best degreaser in the world, not the worst. It is a good one. But the bearing wasn't getting better. So I like keeping this jug around just because of this. Use this. This is 30% vinegar. The 30% represents the acid in it. It's 30% acid. Very strong cleaner. So as you can see, vinegar's clear. That's not. And that's pure vinegar with a little water added to it. So I threw that in there yesterday, shook it up a little bit. We're gonna find out what the bearing looks like. Oh my. So much better. Not sure. Y'all don't have a reference, but all of that was rusted up. So I might actually be able to save this. So, some stuff in it. I'm gonna pour out this vinegar and I'm gonna put this in the degreaser for a few minutes and just let it calm down. Oh. Hey guys, so all the parts are clean now. The bearing, so much better. As you can, I'm gonna include a picture of how bad it was. I mean, I couldn't do this with it at one point in time. I've already greased it up. I'm using, put the cap on the grease so I don't get grease on me. Super Lube multi-purpose synthetic grease. We use it a lot doing service work on machine tools, so I figured it was good. I'm going to use it on a lot of this stuff. I did mess up a little bit because I didn't take a whole lot of photos, but I was lucky enough that I didn't delete the video that I had taken beforehand. So I was able to look at it and figure out what needed to go where. Biggest thing was this little gear. Let's see if this gear right here, right up there, I had to make sure that was positioned correctly, or else it would spin the wrong way. So I'm gonna put some grease on here and there, and we're gonna put it together. So I'm doing everything in this because I'm on an expanded metal table, so I don't want to lose anything. All I really need for this is screwdriver and grease. So I'm going to put that was such a pain in the ass just to get it out of there. See, sounds so close to new. Just show you. It takes 3 these little screws to keep the bearing in place. Doing good so far. Just one thing, when you're doing grease on the bearings, a lot of people just put the grease on there and think it's good. You need to put the grease on it, spin it, and try and make sure the grease gets down to the bearings. Because if you don't, guess what? There's no grease on the bearings. I worked with a dude once who did like 40 of these and there's no grease on the bearings because he just wanted to do it. What I like to do, if I can, put it on my finger and spin it real fast. I'll do that. This was a little harder, but I was able to get it pretty much all the way down there. There is a little spot you can see right here. I'm going to put some more grease on that. And I'm actually going to go get something. Grab me popsicle sticks so I can get up in there close. And so I put that on there, and just turning it, it's kind of wanting to feed outward. So just taking the popsicle stick and pushing it back in there, running it. And what you're hearing, that click, isn't the bearings. It's got this little clicker back here which stops it from spinning both directions. So I'm gonna put some more. See, I covered it up. That's good. Now we're getting somewhere. Keep going, keep going. Now let's flip it off, go back the other direction. And voila. I'm gonna call that good. There's a little bit extra grease, that's not a big deal. Maybe we'll just smooth it around. All right. So I'm going to use popsicle stick some more. And I'm going to grease, this around that. Put a little grease on the hole right there. And yeah. All right. So next is this little gear. I think I got a little extra grease there. I got some right here. So if you're wondering, bugs are coming out because it just rained here. So I got that greased up. I'm gonna put it down on there. I mean, it's not real hard. It's not rocket science. If it was rocket science would be too easy. There's some grease packed in here, so I'm putting it. And I think I have that upside down. This goes through here. I think it's actually this one. I just messed up a little bit. I gotta take that back out. you a wrench. So the part I messed up on is I forgot to put this on first, then this nut, and then this piece slides down over it. Awesome. And then there's this little screw. Hands are a little greasy now. I just lost that little screw. I'm not fucking with you. I literally just lost that screw. So I gotta figure out. Alright, so I lost that little screw. The purpose of that screw was to help prevent that nut from coming off. So, good old Loctite. Oi.
Oi, how are you?
Alright, so that's what we're going to do. I took some blue Loctite, spread it along the threads on this brass piece, and tightened it down. I don't have another screw that big, and I don't think it'll be an issue. So, excellent. Now we're going to put this through. All right. So now that all that's left is this. I'm going to put some grease on this and that. And this little gear is spun by the handle, which spins this gear down here up and down. Meanwhile, that little gear on this spins the actual bail, I guess would be the best way to say that. So yeah. So I'm going to skip ahead I don't think y'all need to see me put in 3 more bolts, the bail on, and well, the spool on, and the handle. So I'll see you in a few seconds. So just a quick little thing. I put it together. It's making a tad bit of noise. So I took the spool back off, and right here on the shaft, I think it was squeaking right there, so I just put some grease on it. Much better. So it squeaks. It's an old reel, okay? I used it for years as a saltwater reel. Probably not designed for that. I think this is, let's see, it's a Quantum XR60F. So I found this underneath a burn pile a long time ago. So the only reason I did this, because if I could save it, I could save it. If I couldn't, I couldn't. The bearing, it's usable, so that's why I was able to put it all back together. I've never done this, taken these apart, never even tried really. I just knew I could throw it in some degreaser to take care of a lot of the grease problem, and I threw it in the 30% vinegar because I knew it would eat the rust away, and it did really good. One other thing I did do, and this is something, if you're intending to rebuild your reel, I highly suggest this. I took the bearing out and I measured it. So bearings, we'll just use this as an example. The outer diameter, the inner diameter, and the width. You have to know those measurements. Reason I did that, because I might be able to get like an 18 pack of these things for $18. I might not, but if it goes down again, I can probably do it. And I can pop that out pretty quickly on the beach if I need to. I didn't see any problems with my gears, so this one's done. It's gonna go back on the rod. Nothing else I can really do to it. And now that I know where it is, I can always do it. So things I needed: grease, popsicle stick, or just any flat stick. This worked really well. I'm glad I used it. I used screwdriver plus and a 9/16 wrench and some blue Loctite. I didn't have to use a blue Loctite, that's just what I used. And this will get dunked in the water again. So I might pull the handle off and grease the handle. And so this was Logan with Adventure Rigs Outdoors, my reel rebuild series. I got another series coming out. It's called Prepping to Live, Living to Prep. It's going to go over some things that I do and I believe in, and just some basic stuff. So if you're interested, like and subscribe, tell your friends, tell strangers. Until next time.